And now, it's time for another Dice Tower review with Tom Vasel.
Hey folks, today we're going to be taking a look at Dominion. Now, this is Dominion 2nd edition. Now, Dominion came out in 2008. It's now 2016. It's 8 years later. And they just announced a month ago, hey, guys, we're coming out with the 2nd edition. We're going to tweak some of the cards. And it was, what? Dominion is a big game. It's one of my favorite games. It's been in my collection for a while. There's 10 expansions. There's a lot going on. But they decided to reprint a 2nd edition of the base game and Intrigue, which I'll take a look at in a separate one. Now, what they did is they took 6 cards out of Dominion, they added 7 in, and they made some cosmetic changes. And you might say, what? I don't want to have to buy this whole new set. Well, you don't. There's an upgrade kit that just has the new stuff in that you can buy if you want to. Perhaps you never played Dominion before. Well, this review is not going to help you out a lot. I've done a review on Dominion, so you can go watch that and see how to play that game. This is kind of for people who've already played. I wanted to see how the whole new set, maybe your set's all beat up and worn out anyway, and you want to get a new set, well then this might be worth getting for you. So I'm not taking a look at the upgrade pack per se, but I'm going to show you the cards that are in it. So what's new, what's old, what's in, what's out? Let's look. Well, first of all, they revamped the rulebook. This one looks nicer. They still have that really hard to read logo, but I guess they're stuck with that. But you can see, when I look at the original one wasn't a horrible rulebook. It wasn't a fantastic rulebook either, though. The new one is much nicer. You can see it has pictures, nice terminology, additional rules, a whole demonstration of the game, just much, much better. And at the end, because there are new cards in these sets, and at the end of each expansion, they show you how to mix with all the sets. Now they have ways to mix it with every set. So all the different sets, they give you plenty of different combinations to pick from. Even though I think most people still just play with whatever they want to. So, what does this set change? Well, a lot of the cards are essentially the same. They're going to be made to look nicer. So, let's focus up here on, for example, these 2 moat cards. To the left, you can see the old one. What's the difference here? Well, the font's a little bigger over here, but also the moat's actually blue now. So that's what you're going to find, for example. This is the new one here. Trash up to 4 cards from your hand. Trash up to 4 cards from your hand. It's the same. They changed some text on these somewhat. Gain a silver card onto your deck. This one just says gain a silver card put on top of your deck. Each other player removes a card from his hand. Here it says their hand and puts it on their deck. So just a nicer way to look. But some of the cards have more aesthetic changes than that. The biggest probably are the victory point cards. The Duchy now looks like this. Same artwork, but they moved this 3 victory points there, much bigger. And it really makes a difference when you're playing these games to look and see. There's the province, there's the estate, there's the curse. You can see they put these on them, just makes it more obvious. They also did it to the money cards. I don't have the original ones to show you anymore because I already got the money pack and upgraded these, but they now have the same cards that were in the money pack, and it's very distinctive to see the difference between copper, silver, gold. This is a big improvement. Now, more so than that, they actually got rid of 6 cards from the original set. So here we have some of the cards that they got rid of. Let's say goodbye to them for now. Although if you have the original set, you can keep these. And I thought, I'm not going to get rid of these cards. And then I realized that I don't really like most of these cards anyway. The Thief lets you trash a card that someone else reveals, and then you can gain them. So the Thief is kind of a nasty card. We never really liked it anyway, but it was also a nasty card that wasn't really that powerful. Here, each person reveals top card and discards it or puts it back, your choice. Again, not a big deal. The Feast was kind of an annoying card. I never really liked it, because you essentially bought this card, then you trashed the card to get a 5. So you paid 4, so on a future turn you could get a 5. That's all well and good, but pain in the neck. Chancellor immediately puts your deck into the discard pile. Okay, it's an interesting idea, but again, this was just not one that a lot of people got. The Adventurer, did you know the artwork for the Adventurer was done by Ryan Lockett? Interesting, from Red Raven Games. But anyhow, here you reveal cards, and so you get 2 treasure cards, and then you put those treasure cards in your hand, to discard the other revealed cards. I like it. I've always thought it was a neat card. The problem is by the time it gets to B6, you're buying golds rather than the Adventurer. This is the only one I'm sad to see go. And again, it's not really going because I'm going to still keep it in my collection. Plus 1 buy, plus 2 for 3. The woodcutter, this is one of the ones that was in the original sets that they introduced. So, I don't know. Okay, so what did they add? They added 7 cards. Well, that's nice of them to take 6 away. So we're going to start with the card I like the least. It's an upgraded thief. It gives you a gold, and everyone else reveals the top 2 cards of their deck, trashes a revealed treasure other than copper, and discards the rest. The Bandit's one of those cards that kind of changes the game. As soon as Bandits are there, everyone starts buying them, because why would you not buy a card that gives you multiple golds and makes other people possibly trash their silvers and golds, which forces other people to buy them because they're going to lose their big ones. And sure, a copper-heavy strategy might avoid this, but it's just a really mean card, and some people will like it and other people will not. The Poacher is an intriguing card because it's pretty powerful. A card action and a coin, but then you have to discard a card for empty supply pile. So the Poacher gets worse as the game goes by, which is kind of thematic. We also have the Merchant, which is one I like, plus 1 card, plus 1 action, and you get a plus 1 if you use a silver. So that's a nice card to have. I also like the artwork on that one a lot. Then we have the Artisan, who can gain a card that costs up to 5, and then you put a card from your hand on your deck. So that's neat. Get a card, and then save a card for next turn. Now let's take a look at my 3 favorite cards in the game. First we have the Sentry, who lets you look at the top 2 cards. This is my favorite card, but I want to show you the other 2 together. But this one here, plus 1 card, plus 1 action, look at the top 2 cards of your deck and trash or discard them. Great. You like the color of your deck, this guy's great. And he's plus 1 card, plus 1 action. So he's 5. If I ever get a 5-2 and he's out there, that's my first buy. Boom. If I get a 3-4, well then I'll get the silver and I'll buy him on the next round through. But an easy way to thin your deck down really fast. The other 2 cards, though, are neat. They spell my name wrong here. But no, I don't like this just because it's called Vasel. But I like this because I think it's better than a silver. It gives you 2 coins, and then you discard the top card of your deck, and if it's an action card, you can play it. I know there's a bit of top decking involved there, but I really like that addition to the game. And this one here, plus 1 card, plus 1 action, look through your discard pile. You can put a card from it onto your deck. So what's really neat is the Harbinger with the Vasel. Now these aren't always going to show up in games, obviously. But if they do, it's a cool combo because the Harbinger lets you look through your discard pile, find an action card, put it on top of your deck. Then it lets you play another action, which is the Vasel. You play the Vasel, and then you reveal the top card deck, and you can play it. It's just a neat combo, I thought. So those are some of the cards and things from this set. Overall, I'm very pleased with this set. I really like that they replaced those money cards. Dominion has never been a paradigm of excellent graphic design, you know, as evidenced by this name here. It has a drop shadow on the back. They really should have dropped that. It is what it is. Now, the artwork is much better. I mean, that's just a nice looking box. It looks good. And the cards have much clearer text on them. And you know what? Even though I'm sad to see a couple of the old cards go, and I'm going to keep a couple of them, definitely going to keep the Woodcutter and probably maybe the Adventurer. But the rest of them, who cares? You know, it's not a big deal because the new cards are good. I don't really like the new one. It's super mean, but it still is a useful card that people will probably like. So if you've never got into Dominion before, this is a great starting set. Great rule book, cool cards. If you already have Dominion before, the upgrade pack may be worth it to you. You want to try out these new cards and see how they fit into the whole deal. So anyway, Dominion, it's 9 years old, but still an amazing, wonderful game. Still the king, well, probably the king of deck builders. There's a lot of great deck builders out there. There's some I might like more than Dominion, but there's no denying how smoothly and how well this game runs, and the second edition has done a great job at improving that. Dice Tower Judgment into my collection.
Thanks so much for watching the Dice Tower videos. Find more great videos and reviews as well as our top-rated audio podcast at Dicetower.com. You can also find other great shows at Dicetowernetwork.com. I'm Eric Summerer, and you've been watching The Dice Tower. The Dice Tower is sponsored by Cool Stuff Inc., where you can find great games for great prices. Cool stuff in stock. Check them out at CoolStuffInc.com.
Shut the door!